Figured I would do a mystery package opening since I already took a peek and I can't believe what I was given. Hey everyone, it's Rob with RobFindsTreasure, and I checked my P.O. box today and I had this package that I had no idea what it was, so I figured before I open it for my Sunday mail call and shout out, I would take a peek inside. I opened it up and I found a package inside of the package, as you see here, and I looked inside and there was a letter, and lo and behold, it's from U.S. Penny Collection. And if you recall, I opened some rolls by this eBay seller, and after I found that 1931S, I left positive feedback on his or hers seller rating saying, I can't believe, oh my goodness, I found a 31S. And I reached back out to him again and said, yeah, I'm actually a YouTuber, and I posted your finds on YouTube. If you remember, I was letting you know that I wanted to do that, and you okayed it. So the point I'm trying to make is they have sent me a package that I didn't even ask for, I did not pay for, I didn't even know I was getting. And I'll just read it to you. Dear RobFindsTreasure, I'm contacting you because I just put my hand on a series of 20 penny rolls and would like to share this discovery with you. I believe they are true unsearched penny rolls from the First National Bank of Cripple Creek, Colorado. Some of the rolls have beautiful end toning, some have steel, some appear BU, some are ugly. There is even an Indian head penny and a Lincoln Memorial. The majority of end coins show wheat pennies in the 40s to 50s range in better than average condition. I didn't open any of the rolls, so I do not know their content. I'm assuming the majority is wheat pennies. I have absolutely no idea what is in these rolls. That could be anywhere from total trash to awesome rolls. I'm giving you 2 of these rolls as well as the privilege to open them first. Maybe you can run a video on them, and if they pan out, then you can upload it on your channel, US Penny Collection. Guys, so let me just preface this. I did not reach back out to US Penny Collection. When I purchased a few rolls last time, and I'll put a link to that crazy find up there, to that unsearched wheat penny rolls purchase I did, all I did was let them know that I would like to film opening their rolls and post it on my YouTube channel, and if that was okay with them, to let me know, and they said that's fine. Then I posted positive feedback on their account and alerted their other people that buy rolls that I did indeed get a 31S. They thanked me for that. I gave them the link to the video, and they said thanks for the link to the video. Nothing has happened for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden I get this package and I get this to open. So that being said, let me open this package up and we'll take a look at the enders on the rolls they gave us. So I've removed the first bit of packaging, and now we've got another layer of packaging, but I just wanted to bring you in. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one-handed, and so it's probably better if I cut it out. And let me just get the rolls out, and we'll take a look at the enders for sure. So I've got the rolls out, guys, and I'm telling you, First National Bank of Cripple Creek. We've got, let's look at the crimping first. That does not appear to be touched on this end. And it looks really good on this end as well. And as enders, and man, this thing is tight. We've got a 55 Philadelphia. I'll have to check that for the double die for sure. And a 40s Wheatie. And then on this side, we've got a steel cent in pretty rough shape. Again, the crimping looks good. It looks legit. And the back of a wheat penny on this one. So, and the ends look good. I mean, that looks legit. These could be rolled sometime in the 60s maybe, judging by the wrapper. I would say the 60s. So we're probably going to find a mix of Lincoln Memorial cents and Wheaties and who knows what else. But I'm almost tempted not to open these. I'm not going to lie. These look like I'd like to just keep them like this for my collection. But who am I kidding? There's no way I can't open these. Let me set the tripod up so we can open these one at a time and go through them. All right, everyone, we've got both rolls here. Like I said, these look ridiculously nice. I hate even opening them, but like I said, there's no way I can't. So I guess the next step really is just to, I think I'm going to ease them open because they're kind of cool rolls. And I'll start with this damaged steel cent back here and see if I can coax this end open a little bit. And we'll get a better read of if it was resealed. Like I said, it looked good, but it doesn't necessarily mean someone wasn't really skilled at uncrimping them and then sealing them good. Typically, though, they wax them or put a little heat on them to do that, and these look unscathed. They look unscathed. One more little piece that's kind of folded in. I wonder how hard it's going to be to pull these guys out intact because this roll is so tight. The steel cent's kind of loose, so that's good. All right. I don't want to use anything to damage the ender here, but let me see if I can push them through a little bit. Yeah, there we go. All right. I'm not going to take a peek. I'm just going to restack them so that we can look at them together. Let me just get them all stacked up here. We know this. Oh, I already see an Indian. Holy cow, I already saw an Indian. I already saw an Indian head penny. I saw one. I don't know if there was a second one. There we go. Let me change the camera angle a little bit. See if I can get you guys a little closer in on the action. I apologize if the lighting is not the best. I'll read them off to you and I'll try to bring them up. Let me just get a tester right here. So the first one we have is a steel cent, and it might even be a 43D. Maybe not. Pretty toasty though. If they're not that great, I'll just read them off to you. There's a 57. There's a 40. There's a 58D. There's a 42. There's a 51. 56. 44D. 52D. There's an Indian head. And it's 1900. And you know what? It's not that bad a shape. It does have some good detail. A 1900 Indian head penny. I'll take it. That's a good find. So if it's got an Indian head in here, if it's truly an unsearched, like the seller or US penny indicated, we should see other earlier teens and 20s Wheaties in here for sure. Otherwise, it's just been filled with an Indian head. 51D, 53D, 57, 47. Here's a 1936. First one from the 30s. 51D. A 46. And look at this. We've got another Indian head. And this one is a 1903. Or no, 02. 1902. And again, not bad detail. So that is now 2 Indian heads that we've got in the box. So that's now 2 Indian head pennies that we've got in the roll. Let's continue on. A 1944. A 1950S. A 51D. A 1945, a 52D, I think that's a 1924. Let me just double check with the loop. Yeah, we do have a 20s. It's a 1924. So that's the earliest other than the Indian heads. Guys, check this out. We've got a 1909. Let's see if it has the VDB. It is not the VDB, and there is no mint. But we've got a 1909 Philadelphia Mint wheat penny in the roll. Holy cow. 1916. No mint mark. Philadelphia. And like I said, I'll give you guys better shots of these in the wrap-up for sure. 1944. 1949D. 1946. 1953D. Here's a 1955. Let me check it for doubling. No doubling on the 55 Philadelphia. But I don't find these hardly ever, so it's good to see one. And I know we have an ender on the other roll. 45P. 45P. 1919. No mint mark, so that's a teens wheatie. $1914. No mint mark. 1914 Philadelphia. Just wanted to triple check that one for sure. But 1914, another teens wheatie. 58. A 44D. A 41. A 52D. A 44S. A 44D. A 48. So the 40s are now starting to catch the 50s. It's always a good thing. A 53D. Another Indian head. 1899. And it's in pretty good shape as well. 1899. That's a third Indian head of the rolls. 44D. 51. 58D. 44D. 1911. Philadelphia. Still nice 1911. It's another teens. And the final one is a 57D. So in that roll, we got a nice amount of 50s and 40s, of course, as you'd expect, almost even. We also got a steel cent. We got 3 Indian head pennies, one from the 30s, a 1924, 4 teens, and a 16, 11, a 14, and a 19. No mint marks, of course. Of course. And then we also got a 1909, pretty toasty, but it's still a 1909. And again, we'll get close-ups to these when I'm done. So now let's open the second roll up. And we'll do the same thing. We'll take some care doing it. And since this one's a 40-something, we'll start with opening this side. Trying to be careful not to even touch or nick the wheatie. Of course. And we'll just continue on this path and unravel this. And I'm telling you, these look legit unsearched. All right. And that enters a 44 Philadelphia. Let's push them through again. And we'll have at it one more time. These ones, they're tight, I'm telling you. There we go. Okay, let me straighten them back out like before. Just so we can have fun doing it. And let me reposition the camera. And we'll go at it again. And let me slide that over because that was roll number 1. And we'll put roll number 2 in front of it. 45D. A 40D. A 44D. A 56. A 55D. A 45 plain. I believe that's a 42S. It is. And it's got a little bit of luster to it. So it's in pretty good shape for a 42S. A 44. I think that's a 1918. It is. So a teen sweetie, 1918. A 1940, a 51. Look at the coloring on this one. It's beautiful. 51D. Great toning. We've got an Indian head. It looks pretty tarnished on the back. But look at that ear. Holy cow, that's old. 1888. 1888 Indian head. Wow. All right. 56. A 51. A 48. A 44D. A 44. A 40, another 40, a 49, a 52, a 53D, a 55S. Don't see very many of those, and it is 55S. I don't find very many 55S's when I'm hunting, so it's good to see. And another 55, which has some kind of coating on it. Let me just take a look at it. Make sure there's no DDO, of course. Nope. But it does have the poor man's 55 DDO on that last 5, or machine doubling on that last 5, which makes it always fun to look at. A 57, a 1934. No mint mark, but still nice to find a 30s. Weedy in the roll, and we've got another Indian head with some rainbow toning. And look at this. 1889. Wow, a couple of oldies in this one. A 55D. And another Indian head coming up. 46. Make sure you can see that. They're getting older. 1880. Wow, 1880. That's an oldie. 57D. 44. 44S. 42. Be nice to find a 43 copper. 58. 46 with some damage. 56D. I think this is a 1929. Yep. 1929. So that's our first 20s of this roll. 48. 46. 55D. 54. 44. 46D. 52D. 48. 56D. 57. 57. And a really nice 1955 with some toning and a pretty shiny back. Take a look at the detail on it real quick. Yeah, it's got a little bit of wear. Let me see if the front has any doubling just to make sure. No doubling. So, a couple of oddities. So let me get the camera off and give you a wrap up here. So we finished hunting the rolls. Roll 1 had 3 Indian head pennies, an 1899, a 1902, and a 1900. And they're in pretty good shape. We'll spend some time on those in a second. Kind of a lot of 40s and 50s as you would expect. But we did pull as well a 1909. And I said it didn't have a VDB earlier, but now under this lighting, it does look a little suspicious. Let me just double check here. I think that's a VDB, guys. Let me get my microscope plugged in and we'll double check that, but I think there might be a VDB on that. So I'm zoomed in quite a bit, but it could be me, but I think I see what appears to be a V, a D, and a B. Especially the B looks like it's just coming through on the bottom there. You can kind of see some raised elements. But that's under a lot of magnification and it's hard to tell. And this scratch here really is what drew my attention at first with the naked eye. But I'm thinking it could have it. Could be wishful thinking. Maybe it doesn't. But either way, it's still a 1909 penny. We also had a couple of nice teens. Let me put them all together here. A 1918, 16, 11, 14, and 19. So that's pretty cool. We also had a 1924 net roll and a 1929 in the second roll, and then a 36 and a 34, and then the 3 Indian heads once again, an 1880, an 1888, and an 1889. And I'll have to do some research on any heirs of varieties in the Indian heads, since I don't really have a lot of them and I don't really collect them as much. But I'll definitely take a peek and see if we've got anything with them. But I'll have to take a look at these under the microscope. So overall, pretty good hunt, especially when I didn't even expect that I was going to get these. And the only oddities I would say is, and of course I know the 50s and 40s, there's a lot more wheat pennies produced than the other decades, of course. So even if it was 1960 today, and I walked into a bank and I asked for a box of pennies, I'm going to get very similar results when it comes to the ratio of 40s and 50s to earlier. That's just how it works. That being said, I do find it odd that both rolls did have 3 Indian heads in them. You would think one might have had 1 and one might have had 2. I'm not complaining. 3 in each roll is ridiculous. I wasn't expecting that many to begin with. I thought maybe 1 out of the 2 rolls if I was lucky. But it is odd that they both had 3. And it would have been nice to see some more earlier ones if I was going to be picky and greedy. But for being able to open up some possibly truly unsearched rolls and finding a pretty good amount of good finds, I'm stoked. I don't know if US Penny wound up watching this video, but if you do, I want to thank you for entrusting me with a couple of your 20 rolls to go ahead and do a opening on them. Appreciate that very much. I also like the fact that I've got some more Indians for my collection, and maybe a few will go in one of my books. Anyway, I guess the moral of the story, guys, is were these truly unsearched or not? We'll never, ever know. But the rolls look tight. They look legit. The finds are pretty good. And at the end of the day, this is probably as close to unsearched as you're truly going to get. And had I purchased rolls like this, I probably would have been pretty happy, depending on the price, with the outcome. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this unsearched wheat penny roll surprise opening that we did for you today. If you did, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting. And thanks for watching. Figured I'd let everyone know that I went ahead and checked this 1888 for the 8/7 air that is known, and it is not. Couple of factors is you would see the tail of the 7 on that last 8, and if you couldn't see that, there's a die cut on the rim between the T and E in United, and it's not there as well. So it's not, but still, what a score.